on his own teammate, but it doesn't really matter, right? Jones just still going, he finds 3 as well! Might do the smoke and finds 2. That might just be a free use find. It's disgusting from Dragons. Lovely stuff from Sergio. Oh my god! Saki, TJ and Breaker, you'll go back to the respawn. Oh my god! Breaker finds 3! TJ just finds 3 massive kills for his team.
Gears fans, once again, welcome to the show that's just on the internet once again. We're not in the studio. Once again, COVID-19 has just basically relegated us to our bedrooms once again, or offices if you're an adult. Bedrooms, office, same thing. Fru, how's it going, mate? EU Gears Pro League from home once again. How are we feeling?
Hey, loving it. Once again, we had a great week last week. I'm hoping we get another good week this time. Obviously, we got the losers v the losers, the winners v the winners, so it's going to be another good couple of games. I hope so, at least.
Yeah, last week was one for the books, wasn't it? I mean, I sort of put it out there as the best week of EU Pro League we've ever had. The standings will tell you why. Let's get up and show you. What a week it was. Regal Reserve topped the standings after a horrible time in the previous quarter, of course. They went up against OB Alliance, won that one 2-1. OB Alliance get their first map of the EU Pro League spring quarter when it took them 6 weeks to do so in the winter. But then on the other side of things, another insane game. We've seen Rated R take on Elevate, and that was mental. Absolutely crazy game. As Rated R took that one, went to a map number 3 through where Exhibit was just so one-sided.
Yeah, it was a weird series. Elevate looked comfortable in the first map. Second map, as you said, very, very close. Went to that round 9, and then after all that, Rated R smoked them on Exhibit after having the same treatment done to them in the previous quarter. A very strange series of events, but definitely an exciting one, and definitely messed up the table for us already. Week 1, we've got a table that I don't think any of us would have predicted to see. So, yeah, it's great. Fantastic.
Yeah, you're very right. I don't think anyone would have thought Regal Reserve would be sitting up at number 1. But they played a very, very good game. Got a little bit fortunate in map number 2 up against OB. I think, we've seen Jack tweeting out about that as well. I don't think anybody blamed them in particular for, playing on when somebody disconnected. You've got to play out the round. That's how you got to do it. And they did that. They won that round, forced to round number 9, went on to win map number 2, and then comfortably won map number 3. But let's see how it broke down stats-wise. Of course, you know us at EGL. We like to follow them. We like to put them and make them look pretty as well. Good God, look at all those stats. Fantastic. Anyway, Crimson's number 1 KDA once again. Water is wet. No surprises there. Highest eliminations, Dragons, once again, 97 for him. But Phelpsy and Hydro drawing it up with the exact same in 2 and 3. One that is just pointed out to me straight away is reaction. Highest objective score per map.
Yeah, I mean, he came in, he got a hell of a lot of caps, especially on that Asylum game, but quite honestly, he's getting those caps off spawn, so no surprise to see him up there. Yes, he's doing fantastic. 19, leading the way by quite a bit. It's consistency there that's key, right? He wasn't consistent across the board in terms of eliminations last week. That's something he'll be looking to step up this week, that's for sure. But yeah, definitely good to see him there on the top scorers list, that's for sure.
And I think one thing for Elevate is that they'll see all of these, highest score per map, highest KDA, etc., yet they didn't manage to get a win. So, I mean, that's going to really, really hurt them. But I don't know. I think if we look at the league standings, we absolutely put Rated R at the top right now with Elevate. That's going to be their hardest game, it has to be said. But Elevate now, going up against OB Alliance in week number 2 of the spring quarter, this is going to be a winnable game for them, surely.
Yeah, you'd hope so. They beat them twice last time. There was actually some close maps last time we saw Elevate come up against OB. It was a 5-4 on Asylum, actually, the drop shot coming into play as usual there. But it will be a map they're looking to win this time around if they go to it, and a series they definitely should have in the bag, all things considered. If you look at the history, Elevate, they don't lose against OB, and it would be definitely one for the Bucks if they manage to lose today.
Yeah, it'd be a huge surprise. I think, you see them lose against Rated R, you can sort of... I mean, I would always favor Elevate in that matchup, but at the same time, it's not one that was out of the question for Rated R to win. They did go on to win that one, give them a loss for the very first time in the EU Pro League since week number 1 of the very first quarter, when it was Rated R who beat them that time round as well. But let's talk about OB. They managed to actually get a map on the board last week. Pretty early on. The first map they played, they got a win. However, it unfortunately didn't transpire that they got a victory. So that was probably going to be their biggest game of the first half of this season, at least against Regal Reserve. That's who they're fighting against for that 3rd, 4th place anyway, I would say. We know that there's a gap. Will we see that gap today when OB go up against Elevate?
I think we will see that gap today. I don't think Elevate will want a repeat performance of last week. And I think Obey, to be honest, they had a good set of games. They just lost the wind when they lost that district map. As you said, a fluke technical issue on their end cost them a round, and that basically forced them to the round 9, which they lost. Sadly, again, they lost to round 9. And it's been the common trend for Obey. Last time against Regal Reserve, they lost 2 5-4s as well. So we see this quite often. And until they start to get over that hump and until they start managing to close out these maps, they're going to be at that bottom spot. It's sad to say. I'd love to see them higher. They had their chance last week. This week's going to be a lot tougher game for them.
Yeah, very, very tough game for them coming this week. And I think the thing is that's concerning me for Obey is that Elevate will really want to win this after last week. After the way they went on to lose against Radar, specifically in map number 3, this will definitely be a one that they do want to go on to win. But let's have a look at the picks and bans as they do now come through and try and get a decision on which way this one's going to go. So Obey getting rid of Exhibit. You look at once again, just point out there's 3 people in this show, and Matt is the 3rd. Obviously, he's here in production. Look at the new graphics we got going on here as well. You can see who picked it. Oh, honestly, who does it better? Nobody. Exhibit banned by Obey. Now, Elevate lost that one 5-1 against Radar last week. So, I mean, I think that's a personal ban for Obey's sake, not necessarily for the side of,
Obey.
Against,
Obey banned that out against Regal last week as well. It's kind of their staple ban. They don't like playing it, so no surprise to see that one go.
Yeah, but Asylum is going to be picked by Elevate. I don't think Obey will be too concerned by that one. I said last time they played, it was a very close game. Obey picked District. They were unfortunate not to beat Regal Reserve on that one, and we will go to Bunker if we need it. Icebound and Training Grounds being banned respectively from Obey and Elevate. So, no surprises, to be honest with you. I'm not too concerned about any of these picks. I mean, if you're Obey, I'm concerned for you because, of the fact that you've got to play up against Elevate, but at the same time, I don't think there's anything there that I think, you shouldn't have picked that.
No, I think it's fine. Honestly, like the district pick from Obey, for example, they did look good in it last week. Also, Elevate banned it last week, so I can see why you're bringing that into rotation. The Decider being Bunkers, it's one of those where we say, actually, this might be all right because of that win way back when, where Obey did manage to beat. But quite honestly, it's different game now. That doesn't matter anymore. We're forgetting about that one. And actually, the way that Elevate played Bunker last time around, they look pretty good on it against Rated R. So I actually kind of feel for Obey if they do manage to win that district pick. Going into Bunker is going to be difficult for them.
Yeah, I think so. You're on about that whole, we said that Obey beat them on Bunker that one time. Newcastle beat Man United like 5-0, what was it, 15, 20 years ago now. So, I mean, that is a long time ago. And I think we can sort of put that one in the past at this point. Obey winning Bunker against them once in the qualifier means nothing at this point. I think we're all on board with this one, but we are ready to get this one started very, very shortly. A good set of maps, a nice one to get into. And I just want to point out that wow, we will struggle to have as good a week as we did last week. But if it can be just half as good, half as close as the games were last week, I'd be a happy man at this point because I don't think anything could replicate what went on in week number 1 of the sprint quarter.
We had everything, ridiculous. Right? We had all the map 3s that we could ever want. We had some fantastic clips. That triple sniper from Physics. Like some people don't get those kind of clips in rank. Never mind about top end pro league games.
I had you saying boy oh boy during it. What more? I know. What more could I want? What more could I want?
Yeah, it's it was impressive last week, and fingers crossed we get the same again.
Hopefully that is the case. I can see the game is loading in. We'll be in there in a second. Apologies for the slightly late start. And I know there's going to be even more of you in the chat because, of course, we now have the opportunity to maybe try and get some skins, try and get some rewards for watching. So if you are tuning in just for that, thank you. Stick around. Try and follow the scene and follow Europe. We do like to try and put on a good show for you guys. So hopefully you do enjoy it. If you even are just here for the skins, we do still want to entertain you as much as we can. Of course, join in with the predictions that will come up on your screen if you're at live.gearsofwar.com. If you're just at Twitch, etc., you can't do that. But if you do want to get involved, live.gearsofwar.com. And then you can potentially get some skins for your game. And of course, skins to be using in the new operation coming out. Of course, we got Gridiron coming up very, very shortly. That's coming out tomorrow through. I'm going to be on the server causing havoc, or maybe just costing, one of the two. Who knows? I'd probably go with the latter. Hopefully, Toby Campbell is there to carry me on PC, of course.
Top 5 PC player, just saying.
So I hear.
From Toby himself.
Yeah, he's nice and humble, is Toby Campbell, but not when it comes to PC Gears of War. He likes to know. He likes to let everybody know that he's the man on mouse and keyboard, but nobody really cares about that, in all honesty. On board here with J-Rage, though, somebody who's very, very good on the controller, very good on the sticks, is going to get taken out early on, though, as the pressure for Elevate comes in, trumps this first initial. Always seems to go their way. Asylum is a map they do really enjoy, and Obey are a team they enjoy playing against as well. That is momentarily 3 men down here for really good start for Elevate.
Yep, very good start. I nearly said fart then. Very good fart as they've managed to make their way to the tracks and get those opening kills. It's exactly what you want to open things off. Start strong, get the kills. And Hydrone, he's been part of that so far. 4-0 sat in about 30 seconds of play. Saki's going to get taken out as well. And this is just pure Elevate. They get control and they just choke the other team outright. And now Obey, they've got to find a way through. They've got to find a way to either get across that top bridge and find a way to the home hill, or rotate down, as they're doing, towards that B hill. And now we'll jump on board with Ashens. As they do make this assault, look for them to flash this cover and try and take some cover further up the field. They're going to have to look out for crossfire coming from the middle. You can see Ashens just checking that now, but we can see, we've got the luxury of that X-ray, that mini-map, and we can see, actually, they've got chance to push up here if they so want. There's a pretty much a mirror match from both teams across the board.
And this is going to come down to some utility going to be used. Ashens, ready to go. Ready to throw this one in. And it's just a waiting game for Elevate. They're waiting for the moment of Obey pushing. Plenty of shots going to be landed there. Ashens, maybe not necessarily the gun you want to be using in that scenario. Waiting for the push to come through from Obey. They will eventually get into this little bit of cover that they need. Here comes the secondary push as well, as J-Rage and Co trying to push up. J-Rage now waiting for a push coming back in from Elevate. It's not going to come. Obey lines pretty much with a freak beat capture here.
Yep. Yeah. It was nicely played, actually, by Obey. They waited for the trade, and they made a good play around it, and they managed to find good cover. But quite honestly, the pistols coming in from Elevate were too strong. They're going to find 3 kills here if Ashens can't do anything about it. Nice little back A there from Ashens, but it is Craze that's going to clean that one up. He's going to get taken out by TJ, and TJ is going to get that elimination victory off the bat. Just like that, they turn it around. Who'd have thought it? Obey Alliance got up 1-0.
It wasn't looking likely, has to be said, and Elevate maybe let them in a little bit too easily towards B, in all honesty. I mean, look at the eliminations. They're very one-sided towards Elevate, but I think that's the thing. You have this very, very high respawn count, and you get a couple of kills and you can dominate, and that's the beauty of escalation, in all honesty. You can, I mean, it's not over till the fat lady sings. Most of the example being last week, where I completely called, Obey won this one 2-0, and Regal were actually still capturing the last point. It is very much not over until the final moment. And in that case, really coming in is an example there, as Obey Alliance take round number 1. Elevate will probably want to bounce back from that one. They had a pretty comfortable round there. I think it's one of those you'd be frustrated to lose, but you'll know that you should have won it comfortably. You can sort of take something away from that, knowing that you've outplayed them for the most part. Maybe just lost a couple of crucial gunfights and suddenly you lost it. So they'll still be comfortable, maybe frustrated, but fairly confident in their ability to win this one.
Yeah, you would hope so, but honestly, that was nice play. It was Ashens. He got that kill. That was crucial. He just drew so much attention over towards the backtracks here. And now, actually, Obey, they're going to push up once again. TJ finds one. Ashens finds one as well. We are going to see Ashens get cleaned up here and now. Jack looking to make 2 out of it. He does indeed find that kill. And that was a beautiful little wrap shot around that end cover. J-Rage now fearing for his life. He's got to back up here. Hasn't got anything to say to Hydrone as he picks up, Phelpsy, as he picks up another kill here. And again, Obey, they look like they're in control, but just a little bit too aggressive, a little bit too much. They pushed all the way over and got crossed down from the top side of Elevate. And that's where you've got to be careful. As one of these top teams, Elevate, they'll always be looking to find some damage from somewhere on the map. And if you push too far into that opposition half, you're going to pay for it, and you're going to pay for it with your lives.
Jack, number 4 on the leaderboards right now for KDA in Europe with a 2.18, and he has been a player we've been so impressed with. As time has went on, he just seems to be getting better and better. Shots coming in here with the Lancer, of course. Nothing happening now, Obey. They need to maybe do what they did last time round, Elevate. Get that initial, they get a hold of their home, they get a hold of B, and they wait for the push to come through from Obey. They couldn't stave it off last time round, though. Can they do it this time? Obey pushing through. This is Saki trying to be aggressive. They're going to get a hold of B once again, and it just seems as if it's just a little bit too easy for Obey to capture, but Elevate will now come back and try and do the same once again. And I would like to see maybe when that team do get control of B, maybe be a little bit more aggressive. Try and get a little bit more control, because I think if you back off, it's quite easy for the opposite team just to push up to that cover who's what's closest to Saki now on the right-hand side. And you can capture B fairly quickly, but here comes a push from Elevate now. Saki has to back on down. Waiting for the push to come through, but once again, it's easy to just find yourself in this position. It's easy to capture a hold of B. Here come the rest of Obey. The crossfire coming through with the Lancer isn't going to be enough to stop them capturing B. Once again, Elevate now in control. Crimson's just about gets away and no room for him there. Trains either side as well as momentarily going to slow down the retreat from Elevate, but once again, they push back as Obey try to get B themselves as well. Topsy-turvy round, a war of attrition here at B. Nobody able to quite distinguish any sort of real control here for it.
No, not really. Obey had been in a very, very good position here if Saki hadn't just got run over by the train. They ended up having to fight this 3v4, and that's probably going to be the reason that Obey here have to back out, have to concede this B hill. That, alongside these kills coming in from Elevate just now, they're pushing. They know they've got the numbers advantage, and Ashens, he's not going to be able to do anything about it as Elevate, they do get the elimination victory. I'm not sure anyone's going to spawn up off the end of that one. They're going to tie things up 1-for-1 here, and all of that off the back of one small mistake.
It's unfortunate. You know, it's a shame because Obey were doing the right things. That, you know, they were going backwards and forwards at the right time. They were winning the right gunfights, but then suddenly one unfortunate death comes through, and then you lose a couple of others. It's a difficult situation for Obey to be in, and I don't know. I'd maybe like to see either one of the teams maybe try and do something a little bit different around tracks there. It just seems to be everyone sort of, I mean, no one's able to distinguish any sort of real control. It just seems to be get a hold of it, back off, they get it, get a hold of it, back off, they get it. It's just backwards and forwards, and nobody really, you know, distinguishing a lot of control there. Just quite happy to let it go between each other. And I don't know if that's something you agree with. I don't know if I'm just maybe talking on my ass, but it just seemed a little bit silly for me. I would have liked to see somebody eventually take control like Elevate did, maybe a little bit sooner.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I think it's all about the opportunity to do that, though, right? And
yeah,
sometimes teams, they decide it might be a little bit too risky early in the round to go for such a you know, a brazen push down the back of the tracks there. But in the end, you're right. Elevate, they managed to find their opening, they managed to find a couple of kills, and they put all their eggs basically in that basket and went for it, and they got the kills. And that's what it's about. If you can find the kills, it's definitely a great play, but it is very difficult to push up on the back end of that tracks because the covers are quite long. You can see them now on screen. They're pretty long in the horizontal plane, and there's not much else to kind of go on. You got to be careful if you get caught on those tracks, you get run over by the train. So there's a lot to kind of keep into consideration when going for these pushes.
You see, I like this from Elevate, though. They pushed up, and now they're still in an advanced position to try and slow down Obey. There's plenty of members here as well as the kills start to come through in Elevate's favor momentarily. Ashens and TJ are going to drop, but there we go. Nice kill coming in there by JRH. Is going to find a second as well. Does drop Hydron for the second time running, but here we go from behind. Yes, Jack, he's going to get taken down as well. JRH and Saki combining well. JRH still going. Did he find that third? Not quite. I think he did enough damage to maybe accredit himself, but the kill eventually came through via pistol from the other side by a team kill. But in the end, it is going to be Obey to pick up the control of B. That was a really, really good engagement. JRH doing work there.
Yeah, it was Jay. He was just so slippery, like a fish, just in and out. No one could catch hold of him. And honestly, from that play entirely, Obey have come out with that neutral heal. They're going to tip over the points in just about 10 seconds time or so. And it's up to Elevate now to retake this. But you can see Jay having to rotate round now quickly towards the traction. They're getting pincered a little bit here. 6 and 7. Who's that? It's Hydron and Crimson's up on that top bridge. Just making things a little bit difficult here. Breaker May getting pinched. Hydron is actually going to come through the middle now, and you got to be careful here. Another 2 team kills coming out from Elevate. That's not what you want in this scenario. That's the third one of the round.
They're not really at the races right now. It has to be said, Obey Alliance are in danger of taking the second round here. Elevate now in a really bad spot where they do actually have to do something. Breaker's going to be able to back on down Crimson's. Can he quite find this one? Good shots, well placed in the end. He's going to be on his own momentarily, though. 3 members of Obey pushing him. He'll do very well to get anything out of this one. He is going to go down, but that's going to negate away from B, so we can imagine that Elevate are going to concentrate a lot of their resources over that side. JRH does go down to Craze, though. Can anybody else from Obey try and stop him as he does make this push over towards A side? The elimination or domination needs to come through if you're Elevate. Have they got time? They are going to decap here. Here comes the domination, but eventually the incend comes over. Right now, though, Obey are not getting any points on the board. Crazed is trying his best over towards A. They are getting the kills here as well. Is this one of those classic Elevate rounds that are going to come out of nowhere here, Fruit? Breaker
Sure looks
over
like
towards B. He's going to try something here as well. The rest of the team, though, coming off this respawn, they're going to make the push over towards A. Can they do anything with it? Right now, Elevate are very, very close to getting control. The Swarm win condition comes up as well. Can Obey get it in time? Look at the clock. The Swarm win condition comes through. It stays in as well. Elevate somehow, someway get it done in round number 3. That's 2-1 now. How the... I mean, I was about to ask how the hell, but it's just an Elevate thing that they always seem out of the round until they're in it. And they just clutch it when they need to. 2-1 now. Obey will be kicking themselves.
Yeah, they should be kicking themselves as well. They had the opportunity to go through the mid. Breaker could have took that fight away, took it towards the C hill. You know, just spread the map out a little bit. There was times when they were fighting on the A hill where they could have just managed to get the flank, go through entrance and get to that C hill, but nobody could find the way through. And in the end, Elevate come up with, once again, another huge win right on the buzzer. A buzzer beater, you might say. Flashbangs are going to go down now. We've got those incendiaries down the bottom as well. They were crucial, actually, in halting Elevate there, with some fantastic nade placement from Obey, but in the end, it doesn't matter. You lost all the fights on every ring. Elevate clutching up, and now we go back again. Now we try again.
Yeah, composure well and truly out the window from Obey there. I think it seems it's just a little bit too easy. They just seem to be easily winning these gunfights at every single moment. I think it was Crazy who really made the big push over towards A, and no surprises there. Was absolutely dominant last season, and you've got to wonder if that's going to really play on the minds of Obey. Hydron trying his best to flick around the corner there. Can't quite get it done, but the kills once again coming in here for Elevate. Shots coming through. Saki going to be weak, but he has done enough just to momentarily put off the push of Elevate. He will back on down to try and get a hold of it, but the rest of the team now coming off C has bought themselves enough time to come off respawn, but Obey in a bad spot.
Yep, in a very bad spot. Basically stuck in their spawn now. You can see that diagonal line that Elevator set up straight across the bottom of the spawn. No one's allowed to go to B hill. No one's allowed to go to the C hill. You're going to have to fight this very, very quickly. J-Rage gets taken out. You can see Ashens is going to fall again. But someone from Obey has managed to get to this B hill. It's Breaker once again. King Breaker finding the way through for his team. Couple of kills on that bottom side of the spawn has opened up a route for him. It's not going to do much in the points category, but it is keeping his team locked and loaded in this game. Great couple of shots there from TJ. Got to be careful now. The pistol's going to come out, but TJ, so red. Don't know why he stepped around that corner there, and Ashens in the end is going to take out Saki. So this looks bad times for Obey Alliance here. This could be the end of them for another round.
They're still in this round somehow, though. We've seen in round number 1 that they were pretty much behind the whole way through. And eventually, they did actually get themselves back in there. We can see Elevate now backing off. They have hold of A and B. They have a hellish lead as well. They're quite happy to just back on down and do the classic strangulate that they like to do. They do suffocate them inside their spawn when they can. We see Elevate just setting up typically now, ready for the push of Obey Alliance to really have a small mountain to climb now. It's about a 90-point lead and climbing here for Elevate. 35 seconds until the win condition does tick on through. TJ having to make the push. He's up at this halfway point now. Needs the rest of the teams to try and put through this Lancer fire and maybe catch one good Nasher shot and make the push. Phelpsy now. He's going to be blooded just quite a little bit there, and that's a nice spread, but Ashens is going to go down. TJ does eventually get a hold of Phelpsy, so the push comes through towards B, but the swarm win condition is still there. Obey need more.
They do need more as well. Ashens is going to get taken out in that middle route now. And actually, Hydron's found a kill on J-Rage on the other side. So the C hill is going to get decapped shortly. It's all about the B hill, all about this fight. You need Obey. We need Obey to come through to take this one if they are to tie this one up 2-2. So many points behind now, almost 100 points behind as Phelpsy gets another team kill. It's like they're going for team kill points here at Elevate. That's the 4th one of the match so far. Breaker might get caught out, but no, he's wise to that. In the end, it is a kill coming out for Crimsons. Crimsons get 2. He's going to stop that route down. Elevate, they're locking in a 3rd round, and they're looking a bit more like the Elevate we know.
Yeah, that was much better. Much, much better. They were in control of the round from the very, very start there. They get control, they force the issue as well. And then they just back on down when they see the pressure start to come in from Obey over towards C. But of course, we are now at the halfway point. We will flip it around. Midpoint goes up towards E. Tracks is no longer going to be something that's fought over so much, of course. But now, let's have a look towards the weapons. Incense either side of things. I'd imagine we are actually going to see Obey probably mirror match this. Yes, we are. They're going to cut that to a shock. Support teams with the exact same loadout to either side of things. Not seeing as many loadout picks this week. We've seen quite a lot of that in week number 1 of the spring quarter, of course. But not
yes,
so much in this game so far, yeah.
definitely something that Rated R were kind of pushing forward in their games. We saw them go 1-2 off the bat to take those loadout options there. And Elevate, they kind of had to respond to that last time, but this time around they've got a bit of a slower game here against Obey, and they're able to place weapons where they want to.
Yeah, they can do what they want with it, but I'm surprised to maybe not see it coming out from Elevate though. They said they needed to adapt to the international style of player, but maybe they just want to get the job done in their own way up against Obey, of course.
It's this map as well, Ton. You've got those weapon pickups basically on the way to the ring, so it doesn't take too much out of it to go and place the weapons there instead of in the hand. And you obviously can just pick that up on the way to that initial engagement.
Yeah, so you might as well build it up in that case, I suppose. It's a case of getting yourself as best prepared as you can. Right now, though, and is Obey making this push over towards E. They do have the furthest forward member in TJ. There goes the flash, though. It's not going to quite force them out, but that shock will. Phelpsy has to back on down. Is this going to be an E cap here for Obey Alliance? They've been teasing it for quite some time. They eventually get a hold of it, but they have to be careful not to be countered against. Yeah, TJ is going to go down to the inside. Well placed by Jack. Now, if you're Obey, you need to lock this in. I don't think they actually did lock E in, but here we go. High drone from behind. Can he find anything? Not quite. Bricket will shut him down. Has to find a second as well. Will back on down himself. Shots going through over towards E. They have actually lost F here as well, Elevate.
Yep, it's a 2v1 over for that airfill. And actually, if they can, they can take that 2v1, so they've taken out Phelpsy, so there should be a pincer now on the E hill. Elevate, they should, oh no, that's not what you need, Ashens. You don't kill Breaker like that. But Elevate, they need to find a fight. They need to choose one way to go. They didn't in the end. They're going to get pinched out. And Obey, they should have the numbers now to fight this airfill. They've got a 3v2 very, very quickly. They've got to take this one soon, though. Saki, you can see him pushing around, just trying to stop that flank coming out, making sure no one can get around to that home hill. It is crazy, though. He's going to get taken down himself. And now, more members of Elevate coming off spawn. Is this something you want to fight as Obey? My opinion, I think you should probably back out. You've got a big, big point lead here. You're not in the best situation. If you hadn't have made that team kill earlier, potentially then you could have fought this fight. But now you're in a very rough spot. You can see Ashens is going to go down. J-Rage is hiding out, but he's going to get spotted out very, very quickly and now has to Scarpa basically back across the tracks. He's going to get pushed 3-on-1.
Hydro will know Brecker is there, and I think that was probably the right decision to try and back on down. Of course, the grenades were coming up on the other side of things for Elevate, and of course, if they're coming off spawn, they're pretty much free to their disposal, well, as Obey have nothing. So well played to back on down, but maybe it was a little bit too late. The push going to start coming through here from Elevate over towards the home hill, and once again, they just surge forward, and oh my word, they'd be behind this whole round. But once again, it looks like they may be walking away with an elimination or a domination coming through. That's a big kill by J-Rage, though. He will find one, but is it just a consolation prize? I mean, it's unquestionable their resolve, isn't it? Every single time they look like they potentially are going to lose a round, they just flip a switch. That was a big round for Obey to try and win. That would have made it 3-2, but now it's 4-1 to Elevate. They're one round away from taking map number 1.
And what's frustrating about that, I mean, it's fantastic if you're Elevate. You found the fight, you've managed to get through to that home hill, but if you are Obey Alliance, on the minimap, I saw TJ make the play through middle when that pincer was about to start, when they were pushing on Obey's home hill. He decided to get to the end of the pavilion, the right-hand side, stop his flank, and then come all the way back through to try and stop Elevate cutting up and flanking on the E hill, guys. But what that did, in essence, was basically put that fight all about the D hill, and Elevate, they won it very, very easily. If TJ had just carried on with that move he was planning to do, he'd have been able to get the F hill for free. He would have drawn members of Elevate away from the E hill fight. Or, if Elevate had decided to put all things in for that D hill fight, would have then been able to flank up behind Elevate and get the E hill from them as well. So, kind of shame, because they made the right play and then they second-guessed themselves.
Well, right now, Elevate are the ones making the right play. That's a fantastic shot comes through. It's just about going to pin TJ in. Crimson's trying to make as much use of this ball talk as he can. Shot's going to go through, just trying to put damage down. TJ, though, well placed. Can't quite have his head top taken off yet. So he's all right. You got to be careful. Yasaki, though. Second did connect, but not quite weak enough to land the headshot. But now, just the waiting game for one of these two teams. It is Obey who have control. The win condition will be with them as well, as they have a hold of 2 hills. Crimson's makes the push. Here comes the flash as well. Crimson's in a bit of a difficult spot, but he is actually going to be able to drop TJ, who's now going to make the push himself. Which way is this one going to go? Plenty of members of Obey are here trying to make this push. Crimson's now down in the corner. Crimson's now dead in the corner. TJ's going to go down himself though, so backwards and forwards. Win condition still here with Obey. But how many times have we said that so far through? And they've only managed to get 1 round. They seem to be in control quite a lot of the time here against Elevate, but can't quite seal the deal. Elevate now trying to make their push. They will decap that, but Obey seem to have the numbers. They seem to have the kills. Crazed has been downed a couple of times. Here comes the push. Nice kill by Ashens as he pushes forward. Expect someone in the corner, has to back on down. Now Elevate can come back in turn. Nobody able to quite lock anything in here for it.
Yeah, nothing at all, actually. And some great Lancer fire coming in from Crimsons and Co. It is going to turn this fight around. They should be able to clean up J-Rage here. They do indeed. Ashens is going to get taken out as well, and that's the E-Hill firmly in Elevate's grasp. But once again, like maybe, what, 3 rounds now, we've seen Obey up in points, 170 to 120. They had the lead, they had control, and it is just these crucial key fights that are like just leaving Obey out in the open, right? It's right on the money for Obey, and then all of a sudden it's robbed from them, and they've got to be more careful about losing these fights. Back off if you need to. Back out.
That's it. Their initials don't seem so bad.
They're playing well.
Yeah,
they're playing the maps well.
They do 80% of the round correctly. And it must be so frustrating as well. I mean, look, they seem to be making a push over towards D, so something a little bit different coming out of Obey. Let's maybe try and break down their player after this, if they get away with it, of course. They are going to decap D, and they will get out of it just about unscathed. Hydron's actually going to go down to J-Rage's Incend as well, so maybe this is going to open up for them. Shot's going to go in. Jackfax is going to be taken down. Good shots by TJ initially is what set that one up, but now Phelpsy in a difficult spot. J-Rage is going to go down though. Craze from behind. He's buttering them up as best he can. Can't quite finish his dinner though. Cog team win condition pops up. They're trying to get hold of D, but they will back on down. The win condition belongs to Obey. Will it for long though? Break it has to make this push. He has the rest of his team here with him as well. Ashens against Hydron as well. He finds the kill. The Cog team win condition comes up. Elevate do it right for 100% of the round for the second time of asking, of course. Well played there. The push over towards D was very, very nice.
Yep, definitely. So Obey Alliance, little bit of life in this one. Potentially 1 or 2 rounds going either way there, and they could have had maybe a drawn game at this point. Got to look at that scoreboard momentarily. Yeah. Breaker still on those single-digit eliminations. Probably want a little bit more there from your IGL, but in the end of things, it's all about a team effort, and the team as a whole, they need more rounds. They've got to find a way to get more rounds off Elevate. 4-2 down. They can't afford any more rounds to slip now.
No, they can't. I think it was that, not the round we just seen, the round previous. Would have made it a lot closer game. Would have been 3-2 now. Consequently, it would have been 3-3. So I think if you're Obey, you could have been in a lot of a better spot here, but I think you're right. Breakout not performing so far. 9-9, I think, was he at one point there, so not fantastic from him. Of course, it's not necessarily always about the kills, but for the most part, it really, really is. Hydron already very, very weak as he heads into the gunfight with Ashens there, who will find him fairly easily.
Good incent for the reply, though, by Jack. They have to expend a power weapon there, a little bit of utility to get that kill, though, so you would think advantage Obey, but J-Rage, he's going to get taken out, caught in a bad spot, has no backup whatsoever. Crazed, not afraid to go in and take that kill. Saki not able to position himself there to get the kill off the revive, so Elevate once again, finding the picks, finding the kills. And you can see now how quickly they are to rotate out and rotate back round. You can see they realized that Obey, they were going to go to that top side. They wanted to fight for the E-Hill because it's easy to fight with when you've got less members. It's a little bit of a choke point, right? You can meet your players off spawn. Elevate, they have to match up here. Good shot grenade going to come out. Ashen's going to fall as well. Obey, they're not able to lock in this neutral hill cap right now. And that's a good cross there from the middle.
Well, that's a good intent by Breaker as well, though. He will get Crimsons off that cover on the right-hand side. At least giving Obey a little bit of a chance. Crazed has to back on down, just about gets away momentarily. He will go down. Phelpsy has to move over to help Obey. Have the numbers here. Can they make a count? There's been a couple of downs went in their favor, but they haven't been able to find anything for it. Here goes Phelps. He is going to find Breaker far too easily. J-Rage and Ashen starting to answer back, though. The shot coming back up for Saki again in a second. Elevate going to have to back on down once again. And eventually, Obey, surely they're going to get a hold of this here. Jump on the ring. Come on. Get a hold of it. Get a hold of it. You've had control for about 20 minutes. Are they actually going to throw this one away?
If if they'd have locked that in when they were first up here, they'd have probably like a 40-point lead by now. That's the difference. Just that, you know, a couple of seconds in the ring, and that's the pressure that Elevate are putting on them. They just weren't able to get a couple of toes in there. And just as quick as it was capped, it's taken away by Elevate so quickly. But a 20-point lead, or 15-point lead here now for Obey. It is enough.
Yep.
They just got to keep Elevate away.
Win condition is with them. Of course, a lot of time left in this round. We're starting to see the grenades come up once again. Incense on the side of Jack Fix and Ashens. And that's probably going to be around this play. We're going to have to see Jack do something special with this. J-Rage happy to set up, be aggressive. And this war of attrition that's went on up top entrance is going to continue and probably going to decide the round. Huge round for Obey. Elevate, I've got a couple more chances to close this one out.
And the problem is here for Obey Alliance, you can see on the minimap top right, number 6, Hydrone. He's hiding in that middle room. I think he's in there basically trying to get that cross lancer. So if Obey push across, he can just hit anyone. And he's also making sure no one is pushing through to his home hill as well. The thing I am seeing though here is Hydrone is on 0 lives. So as someone on that home hill, you would kind of expect the Obey team to try and make the play on him, to try and find their way through. And that's on Saki there, because he's down right at the bottom. He's got to make his way across and find that 1v1. If he can find that kill, he puts his team in a very big spot here. And you can see how kind of laid back here Obey Alliance are. They've got one on the D hill. They've got one all the way down the bottom side of the track, Saki. And TJ, he's going to get timed out in the middle as well. So they had the opportunity there to find a pick on Hydrone when he was in a bit of a middle spot. Great incent coming out there from J-Rage though.
Really good incent. Is he actually going to force them away? J-Rage keeps on going. The win condition is going to go with Obey Alliance. A 2-cap will do. Elevate are going to be very close though. Elevate have to move. Which way they went, it looks like they're going to be making a mission over towards D as well. Elevate trying their best over towards B, but a big gunfight by Hydro, and he's going to win it over towards the home hill. Is that going to be enough though? The swarm win condition comes on through, and once again, the switch is flicked. And every single time Elevate looked like they're going to lose, they just seem to turn it around somehow. 5-2 is going to be the score, and map number 1, Asylum, belongs to Elevate. Obey Alliance, that could have been a very different story.
It really could have. All they had to do was find that decap a little bit earlier, find that kill on Hydrone, push the way through, right, and maybe try and get that home hill from Elevate's control. But in the end, it was Elevate that made the proactive move. They managed to find that neutral cap. They managed to go through. Hydrone as well, right on the line, managed to win his 1v1. You got to give it to him. That's the kind of player he is, right?
Yeah, huge gunfight from him. And it just, again, like, Obey seemed to, apart from the rounds that they won, of course, you know, they did everything that they possibly could have done to win those rounds. It was fantastic from them. However, like, the rounds they lost, there was at least 2 rounds there that I don't want to say they threw away, but they were in control of for most of it. And maybe just, look, give credit to Elevate as well, where they make the outplay, they're the ones being proactive to try and do something. They're finding themselves behind, they have to do something. They manage to make it work nearly every single time. So you've got to give them the credit for that. But Obey just seemed to, I don't know, it's like we're in control, we're doing things right, excellent stuff, we're getting kills, maybe not making as much as we would want to from these kills in terms of points, but again, it just seems to, I don't want to say it's a lapse in concentration, but they just seem to get caught off guard far too easily by what Elevate do if they do something different.
For me, it's they're second guessing themselves. I'm seeing time and time again on that minimap, they look like they're making the right rotation, the right play, and then right at the last minute, they start to backpedal, they come back around, or they change what they're doing. And they're just not really managing to find a way to win rounds. And I think that's the only thing they're missing, because as we've been saying, they've been managing to get that point lead. They've been holding that right till the end game, right? To plus 200 points before Elevate are coming in and sweeping those rounds from them. But it's all about finding that end game, and they're just not able to do it. Teams like Rated R, teams like Elevate, they do that often, and they win many rounds where you think, okay, the other team's won, and then, oh, okay, Crimson's now on the opposite team's home hill, or you know, Dragons has managed to get a double. Like, these kind of plays are what is splitting Obey from the top there, and that was very apparent in map 1.
Yeah, it seems so. So there you go. It is going to be Elevate taking a 1-0 lead on Asylum. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to ask you for predictions, and I'm sure you guys in the chat would have put them in as soon as they came up on live.gearsaward.com. I was going to ask you. I think it was unquestionable to be an Elevate win in that one. I think we probably both would have went the same way. This has to be 2-0 now, surely.
Yeah, you would think so. And you said, I didn't get a chance to ask you. It's all right. I put it in the predictions tab in live.gearsofwar.com. I managed to get myself I might get that skin at some point. But yeah, I did go for Elevate in the predictions tab, and I would have said probably 2-0 to Elevate as well coming into this one. It's been the precedent we've seen the last 2 quarters. Obey Alliance just cannot find wins against Elevate.
One performance I do want to point out, the Obey side of things, Breaker not having a good game there, but a couple of other guys, we're keeping pace at times. We've seen, I think, Ashens and J-Rage doing some good work. I think TJ had a relatively good game as well, from what I can remember. So, the slaying part is there. I said most of it is there. They just get caught off guard or second-guess themselves, as you say, quite often. I would like to see them, when they get that flurry of kills or get some sort of control, like do something with it. We said this last season. Typically, it was the win. The loss against. I think was it against Regal last season, where they seemed to be finding loads of kills, but then losing the round somehow. I think it was on Vazgar. They just weren't rotating at the best times, or they weren't making the right decisions time and time again. If they can find that, they have the talent. That's the thing. Like the slaying ability is there on occasion anyway. I mean, J-Ray just sitting the 5th in the leaderboard KDA-wise. Of course, it was only after 1 week and against Regal Reserve. 80 and 37 he went last week, 2.16. That's a good turnout from him as well. But, they're just not finding anything from these kills on occasion. And I don't know what the problem is. Maybe they just need to be a bit more decisive. Just do what you think is right rather than think, oh, well, is this the right decision? Just do it. And sometimes it'll pay off.
I think as well, they have this issue where if one dies, they all die, but they all die very, very quickly. If you watch a lot of the team fights that go Obey's way, they manage to get the kills, but quite honestly, the other team usually manages to draw out. Maybe it's not the first 2 kills, but the 3rd kill. It'll be Hydrone who's running off and drawing time, or Jackfex managing to find his way back 2 more covers before he falls down. And that delay is adding to a lot of pain for Obey, because the other team are back off spawn by the time the fights are over, and that makes it so difficult to go through. Whereas Elevate, they're basically in the money in 3 seconds flat. They've killed all of you and they're already on your home hill. And it is the speed at which these fights play out at that is actually, it's affecting Obey as well. I feel like they need to clean up their game a little bit and manage to find these last kills earlier, or adapt what they're doing and have another response. Maybe that player gets away, but maybe you've taken some different control or managed to find a different route through somewhere else. So there's ways you can play around it. But quite honestly, it's all about speed, and at the moment, Obey, they're lacking it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it seems so. There's just a piece of the puzzle that is not quite there and is indeed missing for Obey Alliance. But we're going to be heading into map number 2 very, very shortly. As far as I'm aware, things are getting loaded up. I do believe it was District coming up next. So that's a map Obey have done all right on, and it's a map that Elevate haven't played a great deal as far as I'm actually aware. I'll go on egl.tv/Gears-Pro League.
Quick plug.
Quick plug. We'll get on the Gears Hub, of course. I'm curious. Let's have a look. Did Elevate play much last season? We can actually have a look at this in terms of picks and bans and whatnot. So, I mean, District on a level wasn't picked a whole lot. It was only 20% of the time. Banned away 10% of the time as well. So, I mean, it's actually not as low as some of the other maps. We played District 5 times last season for both for all 4 teams. But I'm curious to see how Elevate play on this one, because Obey looked pretty good the most part on it last week. We're a little bit unfortunate to lose that one, so maybe they can bring that into this one. And I think something on Asylum as well is the fact that they didn't play too badly. It was just a couple of decisions, as said, here and there that didn't go their way, and in the end that could have been very, very different. It could have been very, very different in that game, but we are nearly ready to load this one in, as far as I'm aware. Which way is this good? Are we saying Elevate? Is that it?
I've got to say Elevate. As good as Obey were last week, they did manage to get themselves in a 4-3 situation, which it was pretty good against Regal, but against Elevate, it's a different beast. Yeah. And they're going to have a tougher time trying to get to that scoreline. They looked good. They looked good in those bandstand fights. They looked good elsewhere across the map, did Obey. But the big thing for me was that they didn't manage to win it last week. And so for anyone who wasn't here and is a new viewer to the EGL stream, last week Obey Alliance, they lost a player disconnected halfway through the 4th or the 5th round for Obey. They would have won it if they won that round. They would have gone to round 9 if they lost it. They ended up losing it because they were 4v5. Then they went on to round 9, and they lost that as well. So that's a common thing that we see from Obey Alliance, is going to that round 9 and then choking it out. But if you're Obey, that's bad memories, right? That's bad times, and you're going on to
The
this
way
map
they
thinking,
lost it, yeah.
should have won it last week. That's a lot of pressure to carry. Now we're against a tougher team. Are we going to be able to close it out? I can't see them doing it, to be honest with you. I think it'll be a good game. I do. I honestly think they'll put up a good performance. But I still got to give it to Elevate. They've looked the better team so far, and they have been historically.
As I said, it's a different story when they're playing Regal Reserve. Regal coming in with a new member of the team as well, so maybe some creases to iron out there. And you still went on to lose it, and especially in the fashion that you did, it's going to be disappointing. We are loading into the map in a second as well, so we will get this one going. Thank you to everybody for tuning in so far. Hope you are enjoying the show. Of course, being from home, it's a little bit different to our usual setup, but I think you'll be seeing this across the world, not just in Gears of War, nearly every other single esport. As everybody, you're seeing casters sitting in their offices at home, so it is a little bit of a different layout. Fru's camera, yeah, I mean, his setup's looking a lot more professional than mine. I'm going to have to step my game up. I mean, your camera quality is significantly better, and it's not.
I can't tell, to be honest with you. I'll take it.
I'm checking. I just can't help staring.
We're still waiting for Matt to send out those black magics. I heard they're coming eventually.
That's
at some
one
point,
thing. Eventually they'll send them out. Yeah, slipping on that front, unfortunately, Matt. Come on, we need to get it sorted. But
no, he's hooked me up already, so I can't put him on the blast.
Yeah, well, that's very true. As you can tell, we have the headsets on this week that we usually would run. One thing that I'm curious to keep an eye on, and I was saying this in the pre-show, how much hairier and how much fatter I'm going to get as this seems to go on. Because honestly, all I've done while being in self-isolation here is eat. And my hair is going to keep growing. My barb is closed. I mean, it's you lot at home that's going to have to put up with it. I like to think I come in quite, looking all right. The haircut's usually fresh. It's going to get worse as time goes on.
It is indeed. I'm just getting the big ginger beard. I'm going shades of Momo, so we'll see how that one plays out.
We don't mention that. That's worse than Voldemort in these parts. Don't talk about Phil here.
No, that's fair enough. I'll cut that one off sharp.
Understandable. But here we go into District. Elevate 1 to the good here. They'll now be on the cog side. It will be Obey on Swamp. And Obey, it's do or die here. This isn't a game they would be expecting to win, but a good performance would do them a lot of good. I think, coming in and having a good show of things against Elevate would give them some confidence. But again, it's that typical Obey Alliance loss of a round that do most of the things right, but in the end, the most important things you need to do correctly, they don't seem to be able to clutch up on. Really good kill by Phelps. See that? Fantastic from him.
Got that damage down, didn't he? He got the damage down and pushed through. Very, very easy kill there. That's exactly what you want, though. Take your advantages when you've got them.
Here we go. Phelps still in the mid-map. Elevate, just posturing. Just wait until a push comes through from Obey. Good spot to be in here as well. It's very, very difficult for Obey to try and break over towards B once again.
That's it. These rooms, these juice rooms, these info rooms, so difficult to push up into and so difficult to break. The jump ups just cause havoc in the rotations for this map, and it was a key thing that the Coalition want to keep in. We actually had this discussion about perhaps putting stairs there, but they wanted this to be a very defensible position, a very difficult position to push up, and I think they've managed to achieve that here with these rooms. They are definitely a stronghold across the map, and both teams will be looking to get control of them, especially the the side of the defending team here. So Elevate side, Jack though managed to get that first down on Ash, and there's a great Lancer coming in there by Phelpsy as well, and this should be a double kill if they can get this one. Phelpsy finds a big smack there, but is going to go down himself. Looks like the clean up crew, Alex, come on, is there with him.
Words are hard.
That they are.
Shot's going to go in here, though. Phelpsy doing very, very well. The domination about to tick on through for Elevate as the push over towards C comes through. Is it going to quite land, though? Not quite in time. Breaker is there to spoil the party, but only momentarily. That'll be the round. Elevate comfortably. 1-0 up here. Phelpsy playing the map very, very well there. Gliding around where he needs to. 1-0, as said. Good play from them, and Elevate showing they can play on this map too. No surprises there, though. Let's be honest.
Yep, none at all. And now, let's see what they place to start off with, because we did have a very much a central map last time around. Players placing weapons in those home hills, and kind of working towards the pickup weapons. But this time around, it is those utility grenades, those loadout options that are coming in. TJ now hovering the mid. I don't think we'll see that just yet. Looks like he's going to be building up the arcade. Oh.
Unfortunate there from J-Rage, though. Does eventually make the push on through. And I mean, if you're Elevate, you've just fallen apart there. Good lord. What's gone on there? J-Rage is going to have to back on down as eventually Elevate get themselves back into the round, but that was all Obey Alliance towards Bandstand.
That it was indeed all Obey Alliance. They've done very, very well. But now Hydrone, he's trying to push through, trying to find a way through the A. This is a fantastic push, actually, a fantastic cross here. Coming in from Obey Alliance, from the top room. It is Ashen's up there, just peppering Elevate as they do push up. Nothing coming through, though, so far. Things slowing down a little bit here on District as we're going to go into this 2-cap hold. You can see Obey Alliance, they're holding these steps very, very hard here. 4 members just pushed around. And it is going to be a 1v1 at the B hill at the other side of... In fact, Elevate, they're going to do their best to try and rotate around, try and get some shots down through this middle route here. Hydrone having a look straight down the mid channel. Nothing open just for him yet, but it is going to be Elevate in the advantageous position. They've pushed up, they forced Obey Alliance back. Obey hanging out in the walkway here, in the Pagola. Saki taking lots of shots to the back, is able to get himself out now. Phelpsy not able to find that kill. But it's all fun and games for Elevate. They've managed to find the D-cap. They need to choke now. They need to put pressure here on Obey Alliance down at this arcade, at this gym area. Ashen's defending the jump up with his life.
Trying his best and does get away with it. But right now, there's Obey Alliance somewhat in control here. But the push coming in from Elevate, they're looking to force over towards A. They want this domination lined up as quickly as they can, but they have lost Crazed in the midst of it. Breaker and Co trying to make this push out. They're going to be able to. Can they find the gunfights though? TJ trying his best. He is going to go down is Jack, and in the end, it is going to be Obey holding onto their home hill. The win condition belongs to them as well, but I'm not quite sure why J-Rage is even jumping over there in the end, but we'll get away with it as Phelpsy is cleaned up. Any members of Obey Alliance there at the back of the beef.
And
so
if you're Obey Alliance
condition
now,
though is there.
If you're Obey Alliance, you've got to get to that B hill. You've got to stop turtling up here. You are eventually going to lose this to Obey. There's no way you're winning 100% of fights against Obey Alliance over and over again on your home hill. So move the map around, spread the map. You can see actually in that middle, in that jump up, I believe it's Breaker. It is Breaker. They've managed to get the kill up at the B hill. They're going to try and push hard onto the B hill now, but if you're Breaker, make this play through, and he's managed to find the route this time around. This is great for him. The problem is, he's not checked his corners. He's going to get caught out now, and that's a big loss to Obey Alliance, because they've just lost a huge presence in the middle of the map. And you can see on the other side, it is Obey Alliance. They're going to win the 1v1. This should be Obey's round. They've locked it in the end, but geez, I mean, they made a mess of it, but they got there.
They stressed me out.
There. No, that's the thing, though. That play by Breaker, that's the kind of play we were saying at the end of the last map. That's the kind of play that they should be making, and they made it this time around. They managed to find their way through, and even though his team was fighting on B hill, he backed down, managed to get to the opposing home hill, and it drew numbers away from Elevate. It put, you know, a bit of a flaw in their plan, and that's exactly what you want. That's exactly how you should have been playing that end game. Maybe a little bit earlier next time, but they did it right.
Nicely done in the end. As said, it just seems to be very stressful watching Obey Alliance play Gears of War at times, doesn't it? It's like they do, as said, a lot of the things right, and then sometimes these decisions they make don't work out. Yep. In the end, though, that time around it does, just about. But can they continue here on District? Elevate, I don't know, they just don't seem to be in at the races this map. I don't know what it is. Round number 1, they were really, really good and just grounded out very, very well, but I don't know. It's something that just, Obey Alliance seem to be there with them on occasion, and that's something that we haven't seen in previous seasons from Obey. Like, the slaying capacity has been there. Yes, okay, there's been the odd map here and there, but Phelpsy really should not have won that gunfight. Does so, will get out with his life as well at 11-3. Elevate are in danger of conceding something here to Obey if they keep playing the way they are. Obey, though, this is their pick, has to be said.
Yeah, they should be performing on it, that's right. They should be able to get this kill on Hydrone, but they've got to be careful now. TJ is going to get pushed by Craze. Craze gets that kill there, and now Hydrone, sneaking along the wall. The flash just put a bit of a halter in Obey's push there as Elevate, they are able to get back to the box. The revives are going to come through. Crazed right up in the face here. The revive train has got to be strong here for Elevate if they're all going to get out alive. Hydrone gets away by the skin of his teeth. Hardly any health left at all. And Obey Alliance, they put on a good defense here, but they're going to be careful not to get pincered now. They've moved around. They're in the info room. Crimson's actually is up here fighting this one, so there should be a nice little 3v2 if they're very, very quick, but no, Hydrone's joined the party as well, and this is a very, very small space for a lot of people to be fighting in.
They're working it very well, though, here. Elevate, the downs are coming in as well. I think as somebody off the respawn does get a hold of it eventually for a little bit, but they're quite happy just to keep that map control way past the halfway point and just keeping Obey Alliance in their spawn. They have to win a good few gunfights to try and get a hold of this here. Crimson's happy to set up mid-map. The push eventually coming for Obey as they finally win some gunfights. Jack is going to go down here for Elevate. Now 4v5 momentarily. They have to back on down, but that's a lot of time Elevate has soaked up while Obey Alliance have been trying to get out the spawn, but they're getting out their spawn in droves here. Elevate have to back on down. The push over towards A is coming through if you're Obey Alliance, trying to just at least get the decap here. Maybe we'll get the cap, but players are going down. Saki is the first one to drop. Isn't quite cleaned up, but the problem, yeah, as said, it's hard for Obey Alliance to make this push now as Elevate are now set up.
We've also got a member of Elevate on the opposite side of the map, causing havoc on the Obey home hill there. So Obey, they couldn't push as hard as they wanted to on this, and now they're sat in this 1v2 situation. Ashen's going to have to back off in the end because he doesn't want to get flanked through that mid route. They have got their home hill back, and they should be able to get the B hill here if they're quick. What they need to do is they need to push the juice room at the same time as they go for that decap, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Jay managing to find a bit of a shot here onto Jackfex. They've done right to switch to the pistols here. And this should be a quick cleanup, but they've got to be careful because their home hill is going to get pushed on here. 2v1 situation as Crimson's is going to lead that charge against TJ. TJ, the smart decision to move out. But what he should be doing, I think, is rotating around with his team. Get to that midpoint here. Try and force a pincer as you've got team members coming off spawn behind you now. Crimson's with the proactive push.
Some meaty shots coming through, and it's going to help them potentially clean this one up. Breaker trying his best, and he has a teammate here as well. They win the gunfight, so C is going to be in Obey's control. Is it too little too late, though? Is a one cap going to be good enough for Elevate? Yes, it will. The win condition is with them. They only have a hold of it, and that will, as said, be enough. So they just have to post up here and do what they are good at doing.
And they're going to get the decap on the home hill as well. Hydrone find his way and snuck in there. I don't even know who's let him do that, but Obey, this makes things ever so more difficult now. They've got to get across to the A hill. Honestly, they probably should just leave their home hill and they should just go across very, very quickly. They're in a 2v1 situation. They should have a bit of support from the tower. Bit of a kick from Saki, but the backhand there coming out from Craze, and that should be enough. I'm not. The decap does come in, but the B hill on the other side of things.
Yeah, it's always a secondary plan. There's always a plan B from Elevate. There's always somebody waiting somewhere to get a hold of a hill. And it was over towards B this time round. 2-1 now. And, again, Obey, they were in a difficult spot there, it has to be said. And they were unfortunate, but Elevate always ready for that. You can always see that somebody's sitting around waiting on a push coming through on another side of things, and then just making sure they push towards a hill that hasn't been guarded by Obey, because they have to put all their eggs in that basket of making that final push towards the home hill on the Elevate side. So Obey, difficult spot to be in. Elevate played that one very, very well. In the end, 2-1. But a very close round once again. That's 3 long rounds on District here. Elevate, for all they have the lead, it is slim, and it could have been the other way around.
Yeah, it could definitely have been the other way around. I'm actually really liking what I'm seeing from both teams. Obey Alliance, they're definitely much more competitive this quarter than they were last quarter. They're finding ways to get points leads. They are making correct decisions every now and again, and honestly, they're finding kills as well. Their slaying's been strong, and since they've come back from Mexico, they said it breathed a bit of a new life into the team, and that we are seeing right here. But Jack,
Oh,
he's having
Jack.
none of it. He's already got one. He's looking for two. Revav's going to come in. He's going to get cleaned up in the end.
Yeah, couldn't quite finish his dinner though. Did get the kill, the drop, sorry, I should say, in mid-map, but couldn't quite clean them up. Crimson's just coming up off respawn, so momentarily it is OB Alliance in control, A and B on their side of things in the last round of the half. TJ, 0 respawns remaining though.
Yep.
And there's a lot of time left to go in this round.
Yep. That live thing is going to be a difficult one to dodge really for Obey. These rounds have been scrappy. They've been very back and forth. They've been going a very, very long time. So for TJ to keep himself alive for at least 2 minutes or so as we go through the rest of this round, it's going to be very, very difficult. His team will be doing the best, obviously. Yeah, that doesn't help either. His team will be doing their best to swap positions, to keep him in that supporting position. But there's only so much you can do, and eventually you've got to be involved in those fights. And that's the point at which Elevate, they will pounce. They'll take TJ out if they have the opportunity.
And that's why OB aren't making a move here over towards A. They're in control of the round. They're, to a point anyway, they have a hold of B, so the win condition is technically with them, although, of course, it will change. But TJ, quite happy to sit back here. Has to, in all honesty. And we can see Elevate now, making a push over towards A. They will get a hold of that. They have to be careful not to lose B here, OB Alliance. They're going to have to make a move. Domination did tick, but B is going to be quite difficult to take with plenty of members of OB alive and kicking. The fight comes through though. It's going to be Crimson's first one to go down. That's a good player from Ashens. Saki can't quite get a hold of B, but the pressure is coming through here. Shot's going to come in from Hydron on the other side of the map. Just doing so much damage with his Lancer from the middle. And
Yeah,
they have to back on down, and currently they're getting nothing here through.
I would have liked to have seen Saki just cap the ring there. It's a very easy ring to hold, and you had full mid setup, so not sure why they didn't. And in the time that they've wasted trying to go for that kill on Jack, Elevate have rotated all of the way around here.
Yep.
And are now sat 4 on Obey's home hill. And this is going to be so difficult to push down here if you are Obey Alliance.
And the thing is as well, TJ precariously on 0 respawns. He's going to be playing passively, of course, as he doesn't want to really give his life away. A 4v5 in this round is not ideal. And there's still potential for them to come back here. So if you're Obey, take your time. You're not in control right now, and Elevate have probably played on the fact that you have to have some care when it comes to TJ as well. They know that the push probably isn't going to come through from Obey at any certain point, but they are just going to back down. They are going to concede A, but you can imagine they're going to be concentrating their resources over towards B. We can already see 2 members in the top right corner of in the minimap there making their way over towards B. J-Rage is the only one here from Obey Alliances. Elevate push on through. The win condition is indeed with Elevate. It's going to ramp up here as well if they get a hold of B. They are just going to decap, so OB Alliance is going to be even further away here through.
Yep, and now J-Rage in a very, very bad spot. Is going to fall down. The Lancer from TJ in that mid room, just not enough here. And TJ, he's going to get pushed himself. Phelpsy decides to take it on his own shoulders to try and find that kill. He's just going to push him back now. But while he's doing that, his team are cleaning up on the other side of things. Breaker as well, he's on 0 life, so he's also going to be careful. And I think it's going to be all they wrote for this round. It is going to be Elevate going 3-1 up at the half. And they've played that so well.
And it comes down, I don't want to say it was so influential, but it was influential to a point. The fact that TJ is on 0 respawns, he has to play passively. I mean, technically, you're already really playing 4v5 because he doesn't want to risk too much. And then it comes down to these team fights. They have to force them. It's a little bit too little too late. Elevate have already done the damage. So it comes down to maybe just nursing those lives a little bit better if you're TJ, and suddenly your team's maybe in a bit of a better spot so that you can do something with it. At the halfway point, though, those lives will reset, and that's the first mid placement of the game. We will see Drop Shot coming through towards Cinema. Of course, where he has now made its move is down towards Bandstand, so we're probably going to see a divided fight here. I'd imagine quite a lot of it is going to be concentrated on that Drop Shot, though.
Yep, definitely so. If you get hold of that Drop Shot, the route through to the home hills is going to be a very, very easy one to kind of make here. And it's going to be Phelpsy. He's in the corner here. Just get taken out. Breaker managed to just shuffle himself right into that corner, but Elevate, they've looped around. They've managed to get a few kills here. And now Obey their traps. That's an easy kill there for Hydron. And now they're going to find, I believe that's Jay in the corner. It is going to get taken out. 1v1 now.
Oh, Drop Shot still hasn't been picked up as well. Hydron's going to drop, so eventually it is going to be Obey coming out on top.
Yep, Phelps is right here.
Drop Shot.
You can see there you go. Phelpsy just trying to catch him on the way out here, and it's a very good rotation round there. from Obey to get themselves out of there. They've got the drop shot. They're going to have 2 hills in their name as well. They've got all the members where they need to be honest, down at that E hill. They just need 1 up in the info room, and it looks like that rotation is going to come in now, but got to watch out. F now being the push here. Breaker on his own. Flashbang's not going to connect anywhere. Phelps, he jumps right over the top of it. And that's an easy kill. That's a lax kill. Shouldn't be getting that. Shouldn't be getting that either. Disgusting little up pay.
Really
that's another
nice
kill for Phelpsy.
It's going to be questioned, like in that scenario now, Ashens eventually does get a kill with that drop shot, but where was it? You're already postured over towards it. You've got so many members there. The rotation over back towards your home spawn should have been a lot faster. The drop shot in hand as well. You can send it through the window. I know it's a difficult shot, but trying to do something with it would have been a lot better. It just seemed a little bit too slow from Obey Alliance with that drop shot. Breaker will get a hold of F once again, though, so they're still in this round. But Elevate, damage is done. Ashens found nothing pretty much with that drop shot. Just 1 kill, but it was inconsequential in the end.
That's it. If you're getting 1 kill on, you're on the back foot, and it's to keep your team in it. It's really not the best use of that weapon, especially when he had so much control as well. It was very strange to go from, 2 cap, weapon in hand, all 5 up, to being in a very, very bad spot here once again. And that's testament to how well Elevate played that, to be honest with you. Phelpsy found the kills. He made the right plays, forced Ashens to take a very long route home.
Crimson's up, setting up towards the Cinema side. The bandstand is where the action's going to be going down. Of course, this drop shot's going to be coming up once again in the second. Saki is in prime position, and Obey actually have a couple of members over there. J-Rage is going to take some free shots in the back with the Lancer. Crimson's trying to get some shots in and get out straight away. But here comes the push. Jack is already going to get 1 down, and Obey are going to have to make this push over towards the drop shot. They do seem to have more members here, though. Have to be very, very careful here if you're Elevate. There we go. Drop shot's going to come through. Doesn't quite land anything, but the pressure is there. That's the problem. Elevate have to back on down. They have to concede that. Saki is the one with the drop shot in hand. Crimson's a cut. Tail between their legs are just about going to get out of dodge in time. Saki now. Nothing left in that drop shot. But the push coming through from Obey Alliance, the lead is insurmountable if you're Obey on the 2 cap. You have to push all the way through. Is there anybody next to E? It does seem that way, but the gunfights, which way are they going to go? Only one way. Elevate, once again, clutching up when they need to. Hydra and a cut will get a hold of their home hill. It's all they need. The 1 cap will come through. It's 9 seconds for a win. Obey nowhere near to try and change the way of this round. That is now going to be 4-1. Elevate 1 round away from closing this one out 2-0 and get their first win on the board for the EU Gears Pro League Spring Quarter. They lost in week number 1, but looking good against Obey here.
Definitely looking good, that's for sure. There's a scoreboard for you very, very quickly. Phelpsy, 27-7, leading the way for his team there. Looking very good across the board, actually, Elevate. They've been shooting for each other on this map, and I feel like it's a little bit easier as well on District. There are so many routes to kind of shoot through, to flank through. Yeah, it's so strong, and those positions don't just cover the mid, and the cinema. They cover all the way down towards that bottom side as well. So anyone in there should be getting plenty of eliminations. And this drop shot being placed and forcing this huge fight in the middle as well is, definitely helping with that.
Well, here we go. Can Obey Alliance come back here? It'll take some effort. Everyone heading over towards the Cinema once again. The flash coming in from a Hydra, and that might set things up nicely for Elevate. Every single flash being invested here. The drop shot's so important. But here come Obey Alliance potentially. The gunfight's going in their favor as well. Jack, Hydra, and Crazed all dropping down. That's a clean sweep for Obey. They continue their push through. They will get a hold of F. They're getting a hold of E. They need to drop back to get a hold of their home hill as well. The domination could tick on through here. And I think, is this one going to be conceded? Not quite. Just about in time, or not. Getting over Obey Alliance. Very, very clean round. Nice initials. They win those. They win the round.
That they do. Very, very quick round. 38 seconds. About as quick as they come for District, and definitely for Obey Alliance this time around. I don't think we've seen a quicker round in this game specifically.
I mean, Obey were good at doing that last week as well. They got a couple of really, really quick rounds off the bat. Up against Regal Reserve, though, so that's a little bit different. But 4-2 now, very much in this one. A lot coming through on the Obey side of things, so they will not have that shock to play with. So Elevate, definitely better equipped heading into this fight, a drop shot this time round.
Yeah, just banking on winning this round, or Elevate with that block coming out. I think that's fair enough. I think that's all right. I think what you want from this fight is just to get scrappy, right? Just to get in there, let your raw skill take you through it, and Elevate, they're happy to bank on that one. You can see right now they're getting in and dirty. They're right down by this drop shot pickup of Phelpsy. He does fall once again. Breaker's going to get down on J-Rage, which is not ideal. It means that Obey, they've got to go into revive mode, and Hydron is going to take a bit of time to go down himself. A knife comes out. The drop shot goes the way of Obey Alliance, though. And once again, they've managed to find their way through. They've managed to get that drop shot out. This time, the question is, what do they do with it? How do they now take this around, take this push with the double cap, and maybe even just shut this round down right at the start? I don't think they're going to be able to. Elevate, they're back off spawn, and now it's up to Elevate to try and push back into this one.
Yeah, they're going to push into a drop shot, though. Really nicely done once again from Obey Alliance. They win those initials. Honestly, I thought Hydro might have picked up a second there, but the shot slightly to the side of that play. I can't quite recall who it was, but looked like he may have landed it, but not quite. So here we go. The initial one by Obey once again. Can they find the same outcome, though? TJ is the one to watch. 23 and 13 from him. Very nicely done, considering his team are 4-2 down as well. Just staying alive as best he can. He knows he's so important in this round for Obey. This would be 2 in a row if they can hold this one out. The win condition will be with them. 75 seconds away. And they have the drop shot. They have the tools. Is he in a position to rotate around towards F if he needs to? Yes. And he's in a really good position to try and lock it down over towards E, though. Hasn't chosen to let go of this drop shot quite yet. He is going to send a wayward one through, and for me, I think that's a waste. I mean, you don't have any information, really.
No.
Push is then going to come through towards E. You've got to wait until it's definitely there. Crimson's, though, not going to make the same mistake. He finds Ashen with the incend. Easily done, and now it's Elevate in control.
Yeah, full control, really. That instant kill was great.
And I just think that drop shot there, I mean, why waste it? Why waste it? I mean, it's one of those that it's a shot we see come through quite often over towards E. He is sort of lingering on the edge of it, but you don't definitely know he's there. And it's one of those situations I would like to see it just maybe used a little bit better, and suddenly your team's in a better spot. Hydron up, making this push over towards Info. Breaker will go down. And it's that flip of the switch once again. Just seems to come in every single time. Jack will now get a hold of the drop shot that comes up the second time of asking for Elevate this time around. D&E in their control. This is their round to lose now.
Definitely. So that push up into Info, that opened up a full push through without any crossfire. Obey could not defend the drop shot, and Elevate, they're looking to get this finished right here and now. They got the drop. They should have all 3 hills in just a second. They can't push down. That's the only problem. Right now, there are 2 members of Obey Alliance trying to get this E hill.
Win condition is still with Obey. Will that change in a second, though? Yes, it will.
They found a 2v1 down at the E as well. Phelpsy doing his best to get out of here. Just backing up. Elevate now. They need to get the kills down at the opposite side. There should be some crossfire coming in here, but whoever that is from Obey Alliance, J-Rage, I think it is done fantastic work there. I think it was J-Rage, maybe Breaker as well down there. There goes the flashbang. Breaker now. Can't push that. You've got a 2v1 situation. You need to make haste. Get out of here. Get your legs moving.
Elevate, though, they have managed to get a hold of E here. This could be it. TJ and Co have to do something. The fight's, though, going in the favor of Elevate. TJ trying to get back inside. Is it too little, too late? No. They need to get control. It is too little. It is too late. Unless Breaker can do something magical, but even if he did, he hasn't got time to push over towards D. Elevate will take this series 2-0. Their first of the spring quarter. 5-2. 5-2. I do believe as well on map number 1. A comfortable, typical victory from Elevate. There were rounds that were looking like they were going to lose, and they just suddenly flick a switch. There you go. Easy done. 5-2. And Obey, same old story. This seems to be 80% the round you do fairly well, and then it just seems to be that clutch moment. Never really seems to go in their favor for him.
I mean, you got to ask at this point, what are they doing to resolve this? You know, are they watching their VODs back, right? And if they are they learning from it? It's all right watching them, but you've got to be able to put that into action. And for so many rounds now, so many maps, we've said this, they're struggling to close out rounds. Someone has got to find a way to answer that for Obey, but for Elevate, that's exactly what you want to see, right? You want to come out, you want to finish this very, very quickly. No comebacks today, and honestly, they've done exactly that. They look very, very strong. Obey, they didn't, to be honest. They couldn't use the power weapons. They weren't closing out rounds. And against Elevate, you can't be that sloppy.
No, you can't be. In that situation, you have to be clinical. And every single round that is offered to you, you need to do something with it. They didn't in that scenario, unfortunately, and they will fall. So Elevate take this one 2-0. Asylum 5-2, District 5-2, fairly comfortable. That's much more like it from them. But we have another cracker coming up next. Rated R, can they continue this streak? Who will eventually lose? Riga Reserve are their opponents. Let's find out after this quick break.